Tyson Fury and Dana White continue to generate headlines, but the story may be bigger than a simple business move. The real question is whether these rumors are about boxing, power, leverage, or the value of attention in modern day combat sports. Now, Tyson Fury is more than a previous heavyweight champion. He is one of the biggest brands in combat sports. That is why every comment, rumor, and appearance matters. The speculation around Dana White is not just a boxing story, it's also a story about marketing, business, and influence. Now, the first thing to understand is that Tyson Fury and Dana White are two of the most recognizable figures in combat sports. When their names appear together, attention follows. That attention, it has value. The rumors themselves, they create discussion, generate clicks, attract media coverage, and keep both men relevant. In the attention economy, headlines are often as valuable as announcements. And let's not forget, there is also a strong marketing component to this speculation. Boxing and combat sports, they thrive on anticipation. Every rumor creates another cycle of debate. Fans begin discussing possible fights, possible partnerships, and possible business opportunities. Whether anything materializes is almost secondary. The conversation itself becomes a product. In many ways, the rumor is doing exactly what good marketing is designed to do. Now, another possibility to this Tyson Fury Dana White equation is leverage. In business, public interest can strengthen negotiating positions. If Tyson Fury is perceived as having multiple options, his value could potentially increase. That could influence future discussions with promoters, broadcasters, sponsors, or investors. Even the possibility of alternative opportunities can create a form of a bidding war. The perception of demand often increases actual demand. An important question here is what makes Tyson Fury unique is that he possesses credibility as both a fighter and a brand. His boxing resume, it speaks for itself. He has defeated elite opponents and competed at the highest level for years. But in modern sport, athletic achievement is only part of the equation. Fury can sell events, dominate headlines, and command public attention in a way very few fighters can. And also, Tyson Fury's reach from an economic perspective is also extraordinary. Tyson Fury is a major figure in Britain, where boxing remains deeply embedded in sporting culture. At the same time, he has developed a significant international recognition. That combination is rare. A fighter with strong domestic support and global visibility becomes extremely attractive from a business perspective because he can reach multiple markets simultaneously. And this is where capitalism enters the discussion. Fans often focus on footwork, ring IQ, tactics, and legacy. These things matter enormously inside the ropes, but in boardrooms and in corporate meetings, different conversations take place. Executives, they analyze audience size, engagement metrics, sponsorship potential, and commercial reach. Fury's value is not only measured by wins and losses, but by the attention he can generate. Ultimately, the Dana White speculation tells us something about modern combat sports. Tyson Fury remains a fighter, but he is also a global brand. We love analyzing feints, counters, and boxing intelligence. Businesses, they analyze visibility, influence, and marketing. The interesting question is whether these rumors lead to a genuine partnership or simply demonstrate how valuable Tyson Fury's name has become. So let's put our cards on the table and let's really discuss this. So the first statement is that Tyson Fury and Dana White generate more attention together because they are both major combat sports personalities. So clearly we've got two significant entities here, Tyson Fury and Dana White. These are significant entities in boxing, and then Dana White is a major entity in combat sports, specifically UFC. So if you combine their reach, from a social media perspective, I believe they generate roughly a 17.9 million reach. That's their combined social reach, with a relative drawing of 17 million streaming views. So you can look at those numbers and see that these entities are massive within the combat sports arena. So when you put a Tyson Fury story and you link it with a Dana White story, you then have these combined monster, you have these two monsters of attention combined together. So definitely they generate attention individually, but combined, that attention accumulates exponentially. And then we have the rumors. So the statement, the rumors themselves are valuable because they create discussion, engagement, and media coverage. And that premise is, I think, extremely accurate. You know, rumors, even though rumors is more like speculation or subjectivity, rumors, they drive the marketing machine. And I think it's important to understand this premise, which is underlined by a question. Is marketing important for boxing? Is marketing important for boxing? So the premise here is that marketing is essential for boxing. So it's essential for boxing. Why? Well, there's a variety of reasons. For selling tickets, for selling pay-per-view, and also marketing is a good way that boxers can negotiate more money. So a boxer that is great at marketing, that has great visibility, they can utilize that to become more valuable in their contracts. So they can ask for money through the front door and money through the back door. They can ask for big payments, etc. So marketing is important for boxing as a whole, but it's also important for the boxer and also important for the boxer's teams. And it's also an important negotiation tool. So then the next statement is that the speculation between Tyson Fury and Dana White could increase Fury's leverage by creating the perception of multiple business options. I think that's true. It can add more millions. Ironically, Tyson Fury, I believe, is a multi-millionaire, but it can add more millions if you create the speculation that, you know, he's not just tied to one promoter, he's a free agent, or he's open to other options. So this means that to keep Tyson Fury, his current promoter might put more money on the table, more zeros on the table. Also remember, in boxing, there's what I call front door payments and back door payments. So example, your front door payment, that could be the 10 million or the 5 million or the 20 million, depending on what type of boxer you are. But then you have the back door payments. That's the pay-per-view. That's a percentage from, do boxers get percentage from the live gate? I'm not sure. But the point is, it's the money on what we call the back end. So if you can get big money on the front end, but then massive money through the back end, then that's a win-win. And you can increase those numbers if the marketing is effective. And again, the speculation of either being a free agent or going somewhere else, that is leverage. And leverage is everything in boxing, and leverage is a huge currency in business. Next statement. Fury's value comes from both his elite boxing achievements and ability to sell events. Very true. He has proven his boxing talent. The two main reference points is the Vladimir Klitschko performance. So the Vladimir Klitschko victory, that was a huge accolade. And then we have the Wilder victories. People try to minimize the Wilder victories, but at the time, Wilder was feared, massive knockout artist, a very feared, intimidating character that had enormous power. So he's great in the ring, but he's also great at marketing. Because if you're great at fighting, but no one wants to see you fight, then your economic value is going to be minus. So it's important not only to perform in the ring, but also to be able to market the performance. Some fighters don't need to be good at talking because the fighting is so entertaining that it sells itself. But generally speaking, you need to be great in the ring and you need to be a great marketer. So with Tyson Fury, he has that credibility, that elite credibility, but he also has that great marketing and that marketing machine. He is like a marketing machine. So the next statement is his strong British following and combined global recognition makes him a powerful commercial asset. So you have the strong British following, that's certified. Then you have the global recognition, the global reach. I think that's relatively undeniable. And that makes him a powerful commercial asset. So if you have a British boxing reach and then a global reach, and these are substantial, you are going to be a strong commercial asset. Not just a commercial asset, but a strong commercial asset. So you have the British market, the loyalty, and then the global market, which is massive. Think of this, Naoya Inoue has a global reach, but he also has that Japanese market because he's a legend there. He's an idol. I mean, he's a legend everywhere, but he has a particular cultural strength and influence in Japan. Take Canelo. He has a massive global reach, but again, he's a legend globally, but also he is a legend in Mexico. So the next statement is, while fans focus on boxing IQ, business focuses on audience reach, virality, and revenue potential. So the boxing fans, they focus on boxing IQ, but the business focuses on audience reach, virality, and revenue potential. Now, the business behind the boxing is the numbers, the sponsorship. Think of this, investors care, they don't care about your jab, they care about the returns. And when we use the term returns, we're talking about economic returns. I think it's important as boxing fans and as people that are passionate about a sport of boxing is to understand the business of boxing, because the business of boxing is essential. Without the business, boxing does not thrive, it does not evolve. Indeed, the matchmaking recently that's happened in boxing is a product of the exponential economic growth in boxing. I think that premise is relatively accurate. I think that premise is true. So it's important to realize that, as we've stated before, boxing, what happens in the ring, that's what we love, that's what we enjoy. But what happens outside of the ring with regards to the numbers and the financial infrastructure is essential. And the investors, the people that put money into boxing, it's essential that they get their returns, because that investment allows partly those great matches to happen. And then we have the whole concept of the Dana White rumors. The Dana White rumors highlights how Tyson Fury's brand has become valuable as his success in the ring. When we think of Dana White, he is an extraordinarily successful entrepreneur. He has taken UFC and it's grown exponentially. He's done a fantastic job with that. And therefore, if Dana White, if he ties your name to him and his brand, which is now Zuffa Boxing, that speaks volume about your brand, your reputation, and your credibility. I mean, think of this. What is Zuffa Boxing trying to do? On one level, it's trying to compete in the boxing galaxy or the boxing context. On another lane, it's trying to take over the boxing context or the boxing infrastructure. It's trying to implement a new infrastructure, a meritocracy, if you will. But the fact that Dana White is aligning with Tyson Fury says a lot about the strength and the credibility of Tyson Fury's name. So here is my final statement. Think of this. Tyson Fury's value is not only built on elite wins over Klitschko and Wilder, but also on the ability to attract attention, sell tickets, and create headlines. The Dana White rumors show how marketing, speculation, and audience reach can increase leverage, open business options, and generate even more money. In modern boxing, Fury's brand is now almost as powerful as his achievements in the ring. So that's the end of the video. Now I'm trying to build a digital boxing community. That means I'm interested in your comments, I'm interested in your questions, and I'm interested in your observations. Now, if you want to support the channel, simply like and subscribe and click the hype button. And if you want to watch more content like this, then simply click here or click here. As always, thanks for your time. It is much appreciated.